My beloved child, don't skip this story. Listen carefully, because this fictional journey begins with a letter that was never expected to be found. Stay till the end because something beautiful is waiting for you. Imagine discovering an old envelope tucked away inside a forgotten wooden box, its edges worn by time, its handwriting faded but still recognizable. Your hands begin to tremble as you gently open it, wondering why it remained hidden for so many years. Inside is not a prediction or a supernatural revelation, but a heartfelt message written by a loving father who wanted his words to outlive his lifetime. What happened next changed everything. The letter begins simply, "My dear child, if these words have found you, then life has continued exactly as I hoped it would. You are still moving forward, still growing, and still becoming the person I always believed you could be." As you continue reading, every sentence feels filled with warmth, wisdom, and quiet encouragement. There are no impossible promises, only reminders to stay kind when the world feels harsh, to remain honest when shortcuts seem easier, and to never let disappointment convince you that your future has already been decided. Listen carefully. This changes everything. The letter doesn't speak about what tomorrow will bring. Instead, it reminds you of something far more valuable. That your choices today shape the person you become tomorrow. It encourages you to forgive those who have hurt you, not because they deserve it, but because carrying resentment is too heavy a burden for any heart. It reminds you to care deeply for your family, cherish genuine friendships, and never underestimate the difference one act of kindness can make in another person's life. As you turn each page, memories begin filling your mind. You remember lessons once spoken during ordinary days that never seemed important until now. You remember moments of laughter, words of encouragement after difficult failures, and the quiet example of perseverance shown through everyday actions. Suddenly, you understand that the greatest inheritance left behind was never something material. It was a lifetime of values that continue living through the people who choose to carry them forward. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. Near the end of the letter, one final paragraph catches your attention. It reads, "Don't spend too much of your life looking behind you. Honor the past, learn from it, and be grateful for it, but keep walking toward the future. The greatest chapters of your story have not yet been written, and every sunrise is another opportunity to become someone who leaves the world a little kinder than they found it." Those words settle deeply into your heart, replacing sadness with quiet hope. My beloved child, this fictional story reminds us that although we cannot receive certainty about the future or messages from beyond, we can carry forward the love, wisdom, and values of those who shaped our lives. Their influence continues through every compassionate decision we make, every honest word we speak, and every moment we choose hope instead of fear. But the story is only beginning. In the next chapter, another page of the letter reveals a lesson the father intentionally saved for last, a lesson about courage, forgiveness, and living a life worthy of the love that continues to inspire us. And when those final words are read, what happened next changes everything. My beloved child, don't skip this part. Listen carefully, because this fictional story is about to reveal the next page of the letter, a page filled with wisdom that only time could fully explain. Stay till the end because something beautiful is waiting for you. As you gently unfold the second page, you notice the handwriting has become softer, almost as if every word had been chosen with great care. You pause for a moment before reading, sensing that these lines carry something deeply personal. The room grows quiet, and every distraction fades away. It feels as though the only thing that matters is the message in front of you. What happened next changed everything. The next words read, "My dear child, life will not always be easy, and I wish I could remove every obstacle from your path. But if I did, you would never discover the strength that already lives inside you." You stop reading for a moment, reflecting on every challenge you have faced. Suddenly, the difficult seasons no longer seem like proof that you were forgotten. Instead, they begin to look like the very moments that helped shape your courage, patience, and resilience. Listen carefully. This changes everything. The letter continues, "Don't measure your life by the number of times you fall. Measure it by the number of times you choose to stand again with kindness still in your heart." Those words touch something deep within you. You realize that true success has never been about avoiding failure. It has always been about refusing to let failure define who you become. As you continue reading, the message becomes even more heartfelt. Be gentle with yourself when life doesn't go according to plan. Growth is often quiet. Some of the greatest changes happen so slowly that you don't notice them until one day you look back and realize how far you've come. Those sentences bring an unexpected sense of peace. They remind you that healing, wisdom, and maturity are rarely instant. They grow little by little, often during the moments when we believe nothing is changing at all. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. Near the bottom of the page, another message catches your attention. Never stop loving the people who stand beside you. Tell them they matter while you still have the opportunity. Encourage them. Forgive quickly. Laugh often. The moments that seem ordinary today may become tomorrow's most treasured memories. Reading those words fills your heart with gratitude. You begin thinking of the people still present in your life and the importance of appreciating them while you can. My beloved child, this fictional story reminds us that the greatest gifts passed from one generation to another are rarely material. They are words of encouragement, examples of integrity, and quiet acts of love that continue shaping lives long after they are first given. Those gifts never grow old because they continue inspiring new beginnings every single day. Listen carefully. This changes everything. As you carefully fold the second page, you notice there is still one final sealed page left inside the envelope. Written across the front are just a few simple words: "Open this only when you are ready to move forward with hope instead of fear." You hold it gently, wondering what final lesson has been waiting there all this time. But, my beloved child, the most powerful chapter of this fictional story has not yet been revealed. Because inside that final page is a message that will bring comfort, courage, and a beautiful new beginning, one that reminds you that the best way to honor those we love is by living a life filled with compassion, purpose, and hope. And when that final page is opened, what happened next changes everything. My beloved child, don't skip this part. Listen carefully, because this fictional story is now reaching the page that has remained sealed until this very moment. Stay till the end because something beautiful is waiting for you. With steady hands, you gently open the final page of the letter. For a few seconds, you simply look at the words without reading them, taking in the moment. You know this is the last message left behind, and somehow it already feels precious. Taking a slow breath, you begin reading. What happened next changed everything. The page begins with a simple sentence. If you've made it this far, then you've already proven something remarkable. You kept moving forward. Those words stop you in your tracks. You realize that every difficult season, every disappointment, and every unanswered question could have convinced you to give up. Yet here you are, still choosing hope, still searching for meaning, and still believing that tomorrow can be better than yesterday. That quiet realization fills your heart with a new kind of strength. Listen carefully. This changes everything. The letter continues, don't let guilt become heavier than gratitude. We all make mistakes, and none of us live a perfect life. Learn from yesterday, but don't build your home there. Your future deserves more of your attention than your regrets. As those words sink in, you begin to understand that carrying the past forever only prevents you from embracing the opportunities waiting ahead. Forgiveness, both for yourself and for others, is not weakness. It is the freedom to keep growing. As you read further, another passage catches your attention. Take care of the people who love you. Call them when you can. Listen when they need someone to hear them. Celebrate their victories, stand beside them during their struggles, and never assume they already know how much they mean to you. Those simple reminders feel more valuable than anything money could ever buy. They remind you that life's greatest treasures are often found in ordinary moments shared with extraordinary people. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. Near the end of the page, the words become even more heartfelt. Whenever life becomes uncertain, choose kindness anyway. Whenever fear whispers that you're not enough, remember that your worth has never been measured by your failures. It is measured by the compassion you show, the honesty you live by, and the hope you continue to offer others. Reading those lines, you feel as though every burden you've been carrying has become a little lighter. Not because every problem has disappeared, but because your perspective has changed. My beloved child, this fictional story reminds us that the people who shape our lives continue influencing us through the values they taught, the examples they lived, and the love they shared. Their greatest legacy is not found in what they leave behind, it is found in the lives that continue carrying those lessons forward with courage and kindness. Listen carefully. This changes everything. As you reach the final paragraph, you discover one last handwritten sentence. Whenever you think of me, don't let your first feeling be sadness. Let it be gratitude for the time we shared and motivation to make your own life a blessing to others. Those words stay with you long after the letter has been folded and placed back into the envelope. They don't erase grief, but they gently transform it into purpose. But, my beloved child, this fictional journey is not over yet. One final chapter remains. It is the chapter where these words stop being a letter and begin becoming the way you choose to live each day. And when that final chapter unfolds, this story will end not with loss, but with hope, gratitude, and a beautiful new beginning. My beloved child, don't skip this part. Listen carefully, because this fictional story is now entering its most heartfelt chapter. Stay till the end because something beautiful is waiting for you. After carefully placing the letter back into its envelope, you sit quietly, allowing every word to settle into your heart. The room is silent, yet your mind is filled with memories, gratitude, and a renewed sense of purpose. You realize this letter was never meant to keep you looking backward. It was meant to help you move forward with courage. What happened next changed everything. The next morning, you wake up seeing the world a little differently. The worries that once felt overwhelming no longer seem impossible to face. You begin appreciating the small blessings that had gone unnoticed for so long, the warmth of the morning sun, the sound of laughter from loved ones, and the opportunity to begin another day. You understand that life is not measured only by extraordinary moments but by the countless ordinary moments that quietly shape who we become. Listen carefully. This changes everything. As the days pass, you find yourself living the lessons from the letter instead of simply remembering them. You forgive someone you had silently blamed for years. You reach out to a friend you hadn't spoken to in a long time. You spend more time with your family, realizing that the greatest gift you can offer the people you love is your presence. Without even noticing it, the wisdom from the letter begins changing not only your thoughts but also your actions. In this fictional story, people around you begin noticing something different. They see more peace in your smile, more patience in your words, and more kindness in the way you treat others. They don't know about the letter hidden safely away, but they can see its influence in the life you are now living. The greatest message was never the paper itself, it was the transformation it inspired. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. One evening, you open the envelope once more, not because you have forgotten the words, but because you want to remember the feeling they gave you. As you read them again, you realize that every sentence points toward the same truth. The best way to honor those who loved us is to live with the values they hoped we would carry forward. That realization fills your heart with quiet joy instead of sorrow. My beloved child, this fictional story reminds us that love does not end with a goodbye. It continues through the kindness we show, the integrity we protect, the compassion we extend, and the hope we choose every single day. The people who shaped our lives continue leaving their mark whenever we pass those same values on to someone else. Listen carefully. This changes everything. Before placing the letter away for the final time, you whisper a simple promise: I will live a life that reflects the love and wisdom I have received. It is not a promise of perfection. It is a promise of perseverance, honesty, gratitude, and courage. And somehow, that promise feels like the beginning of an entirely new chapter. But, my beloved child, one final chapter still remains. The journey is about to end with a beautiful reminder that the greatest legacy anyone can leave behind is not found in words alone, but in the lives those words continue to inspire. And when that final chapter arrives, this fictional story will close with peace, gratitude, hope, and a future filled with purpose. My beloved child, don't skip this final chapter. Listen carefully, because this fictional story has been leading to this beautiful ending from the very beginning. Stay till the end because every lesson is about to come together. As you gently close the letter for the final time, you realized something extraordinary. The greatest gift it had given you wasn't secret knowledge about the future or answers to every question. It was something far more valuable. A renewed appreciation for the life you still have, the people who still love you, and the opportunity to make each new day meaningful. What happened next changed everything. The days that followed were not free from challenges, but you faced them with a different heart. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you began asking, "What kind of person do I want to become through this?" That one change in perspective quietly transformed everything. Every obstacle became a chance to practice patience. Every disappointment became an opportunity to grow stronger. Every act of kindness became a way of honoring the values that had been passed on to you. Listen carefully. This changes everything. You stopped waiting for the perfect moment to express your gratitude. You called the people you loved more often. You forgave old hurts that had weighed heavily on your heart. You encouraged those who were struggling, knowing how much a few sincere words can mean. Slowly, your life became a reflection of the lessons you had read, not because you were trying to be perfect, but because you were choosing to live with compassion, integrity, and hope. Years later, when people spoke about you in this fictional story, they rarely mentioned your achievements first. They remembered your kindness. They remembered that you listened when others felt unheard. They remembered that you stayed honest when it would have been easier to compromise. They remembered that your presence brought peace into difficult situations. Without realizing it, you had become the kind of person the letter encouraged you to be. Stay till the end because something beautiful is waiting for you. One quiet evening, you opened the letter one last time, not because you needed new answers, but because you wanted to remember how far you had come. You smiled as you realized that its greatest purpose had already been fulfilled. The words had moved from the page into your daily life. They had become part of the way you treated others, the way you faced difficulties, and the way you chose hope over despair. My beloved child, this fictional story reminds us that the most meaningful legacy anyone can leave behind is not wealth or possessions. It is a life that inspires others to be kinder, wiser, more forgiving, and more courageous. Love continues through the values we carry forward, the good we do for others, and the hope we choose to share. Listen carefully. This changes everything. As the sun set on another ordinary day, you looked ahead instead of behind. You carried treasured memories with gratitude, but you no longer allowed them to keep you from embracing the future. You understood that honoring those who shaped your life means living fully, loving generously, and helping others whenever you can. And so this fictional story ends not with sadness, but with peace. Not with unanswered questions, but with purpose. The letter found the heart it was meant to reach, and its message became a quiet light guiding the path ahead. The greatest chapter was never the one written on those pages, it was the one you chose to write with your own life. And that, my beloved child, is the beautiful ending of this fictional story. Remember, the love we receive lives on through the love we choose to give, and every new day is another chance to make that legacy shine a little brighter.